So remove Stanley was not in the list, so I didn't have to remove him. I did Benedek, I did Jasmin, but George didn't give me his GitHub account. He gave me his email, but I need a GitHub account. Maybe I missed something, but he didn't give me his GitHub account. Okay, today. 06 9. So status demos. What? No demo?
Not this week.
But he mentioned he has a demo. No, I don't hear you.
Who?
So, Sebastian, did you hear what I just said? There is a demo, but we're having some technical difficulties with.
Oh no, I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay. So there's a demo, but it will have to wait for a few minutes, I guess.
And now we can hear the fridge.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Nope.
And we can hear Daniel from Sipke's microphone. Interesting.
Can you mute it? Yeah, so do not get the double.
Yeah, I can mute you if you want. Or no, but now Sipke muted himself. I don't know. Oh man. How hard is it to plug a microphone in the... You know all the earbuds that you buy now with your phones, like if you have an iPhone, you can plug it in your computer and it will work perfectly. You must have an iPhone or an iPad. Daniel left. And now he's sad. Okay. Okay, demos. I don't know what they want to do. What else?
He's rejoining.
Conference. What else?
Is it better now?
Yes, perfect.
Good. So all it was needed was a rejoin. So I was just saying I do have a small demo today.
Daniel has a small one.
Thank you.
I just repeated what he said. Okay. So okay, status. 7 days. This we talked about last week. Rob, we talked about it also. Sipke. Pull request. Okay, pull request. Yeah, this is on the workflow. We need to clear the waiting activities. If you change the workflow and there is now confirmation message if you want to edit a workflow when there are already existing running workflows. This one email shouldn't specify email type. Pull request also. This is a new helper method. While it's making one of the helper methods available in Schema Builder, if you want to create SQL queries in your migrations, that will require the table name, and this way this table name will be built using the prefix. This is fixing the item display text override that apparently was failing on compilation for some reasons, and this fix actually didn't work because I had asked 3 guys to review my code before pushing directly from GitHub. But if you look at it, this call needs the HTML to be passed. It's either HTML.item display text or item display text HTML content and true. So this was not working, so someone fixed it. Can't remember who. So this one, yeah, this one also from a pull request, I think. adding more meaningful error messages during recipe parsing.
Well, it does a bit more than that, doesn't it? Doesn't it change the way recipes?
No, it was instead of having one exception during a recipe, it's one error message during a recipe step. Look at it.
Because it just does an if and skips. Okay.
Yeah, and this one is also, you see. Well, there are multiple commits. Be careful, because at some point we asked for a change, and he did that live, and then we merged during the triage. Once you presented the triage.
I wasn't there, no.
Okay, that's why. Yep. Yeah, you see one of the commits, it also the format, and then it created another commit. Not this one, another one. This one maybe somewhere. Yes, you see here, now this is the final one. We asked for some change, like logging in error here is fine, but another one was just, I think, an information. Maybe it wasn't this merge, but try. Yep. Oh, this is Zoltan then who fixed it. Or Benedek, who knows?
That was Benedek.
Benedek, yes, Benedek. Now he has access to the repository. Splitting, fixing. Selected terms indexing field were cleared out when updating editor group. The field isn't displayed in. Okay. And Benedek, welcome to the committers. And because welcome to the committers, the recommendation when you write a commit message is to make it less than 80 chars and to add the full description if you want as a separate line. So let's take Sipke's one, for instance, because now he knows exactly how to do it. He's been reminded so many times that, look at that, small, less than 80, oh no, this is a merges. But yeah, you see the idea is that the message is small here, clear, and this is the full description you want to give for more information.
Okay. It's welcome back, actually. Just saying.
Well, this one is almost fine, but if you look at some of them, like, ooh, I saw one big here. Look at this one. Boom, Zoltan. You see this? You can't read that. It has to be short.
That was 8 months ago.
Yeah, but you're learning.
And it was a beautiful
newbies.
message.
I'm sure. But on the first line. So where was I? Here. Oh, no. Let's go back. This one. Fixed shape type not found error. To 70. Please close the issues also, by the way, when you tag them like this. It's not done automatically.
It is done automatically if you use keywords, and I would propose using the pattern where you first write the commit message, so the actual description, and then you suffix it with fixes issue name or issue ID, because that also closes the issue.
Okay, if you say fixes something?
Yes, if you take a look at any of my commits, so the newer Lombik commits that were done by me, not by Benedek, just a few days ago, a few hours ago, there I use that pattern. Yes, there as well. So that one closes the issue.
Okay, so let's do like before, but in the description, like we did for Codeplex, using fixes instead of work item. We can keep this pattern and add the fixes in the second line, just for the automation.
I just think that it's better to suffix the message with issue ID, because it's not the issue ID that you want to see first when you take a look at this history. It doesn't contain any information. just if you see it on GitHub, and when you see it on GitHub, it's also there.
It has some information. It tells you which that you worked on specific work and not that. Oh, let's work on that.
Yeah, of course, but it's not the main information. The main information, in my opinion, is that bug changed, and that's the actual description. Issue ID is kind of a metadata.
Not even main information. Even if it's not the main information, it's just more regular pattern. When you send an email, the main information is not what is in the bracket. Like, you know, when if you do like, oh, bug, this is about blah blah blah. You're just mentioning what is the subject of the thing here. This or a number, that's a convention. Not that this is the main information, it's just to let you know what it is about. Okay, that's a bug number, or that's a, you know, whatever. Sipke. So I wanted to go back. Merge 19x into dev. Okay. Remove out-of-fan references. Okay. Import export for the projection element. Oh, the projection element. The element. Implemented. Identity. Okay, good. Default of content management content item.
Yeah, do you include that namespace portion? Because there's also a content item element, so the names were ambiguous. Content management is a namespace.
Okay. But default.
What's that?
Are you at the swimming pool? I don't know. Set correlate.
Oh yeah, during import you also want to be able to set, and it's that information, the query and layout ID, both are stored as a single string, but this makes it easier to access and set those pieces of information individually. And the reason I think that I did it as query layout ID as a single property, probably because that's how I copied it from the projection part, I think.
Then that must be good.
That must be good. That's what I figured.
Added missing MVC dependency assembly. Why do we need that?
We need it because if you have an older version of MVC, like MVC4, basically a version that was before they switched to NuGet, then you will have that assembly in the GAC. So nobody probably was hit by this issue because everyone is running Visual Studio 2013, and then you have MVC4 installed, so you have this one in the GAC. But if you run only VS 2015, then you don't have that in the GAC, so you need that in lib.
In lib.
Yeah.
But it's not referenced by anything.
It is. It's an indirect reference of MVC. MVC needs it.
Yes, but it's in lib.
Yes.
So it's when you build only? No, even.
No, also at runtime you need it.
Oh, it uses the search folders, doesn't it? When building. Is that it?
I'm not sure what the assembly itself is used for, but if you don't have it either in GAC or in the lib folder, then Orchard will throw a YSOD when you run it.
Maybe I lost a few neurons here, and that's possible. But if in this folder, ASP.NET MVC, there is a MVC thing which points to it, pointing to the MVC DLL won't bring this DLL, infrastructure DLL, into your binary.
No, so it will not.
So when you deploy, you don't have the infrastructure.dll. And when you build, you don't use it either. So here, if I look at the project here, there is no new reference to this DLL. So how is Visual Studio finding this one?
Isn't there in the CS project file? Because I think I changed this one to copy. Okay. There is a reference to it.
So there was a reference, but the file wasn't there, maybe. Okay.
Exactly. Visual Studio still found it if you had it in the GAC.
Okay, that makes sense then. Then the reference already existed, but the DLL was removed.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So I had my neurons. I'm safer. Good. Implementing alternating row color for content type and parts editor. I'll trust you. I assume this is the same as the other tables.
Yes, it is the same coloring that we have for content type lists and stuff like that.
Cherry picking, and cherry picking. And I should, yes, the left one is 19x. Fixed unit test, okay. This is an interesting noise. This is fixed. Fixed vector image placement. Okay. Never used it. Formatted placement file. Fixed vector image will not render in TinyMC. Okay. So someone is having fun with vector images apparently. Web Essentials with Gulp for Orchard layout.
Yeah, we used when we built layouts to begin with, we used Web Essentials to do the minification and bundling, and also compilation of less files. And starting with VS 2015, that's no longer going to be supported. They're basically telling developers that you should use either Grunt or Gulp for front-end build automation. So it was necessary to switch it out, use a different automation framework to do those kinds of tasks.
How do you bootstrap it? How do you call it? You just include the Gulp file and it builds automatically, or?
Yeah, you include the Gulp file and a package.json file, and then for VS 2015, it's all installed for you automatically. So it has the Gulp and Grunt task runner built in, and also the Node package manager. So you can just right-click on the package.json file in Solution Explorer, and it will install all of the required Node modules for you. If you're using 2013 and want to change the less files, then you're going to have to install Node on your machine. But it's only if you want to change those files, because the resulting CSS and the minified CSS are checked into version control as well. So it's the same as Web Essentials before.
Are you using Grunt in anywhere?
Sorry, what was that?
Are we using Grunt anywhere?
No, as far as I know, it's all Gulp so far.
Okay. Just checking that we're being consistent about the one we choose. Yeah.
Didn't you add some? Bertrand, didn't you add it? Or maybe it's in your branch, the lib folder?
What?
Gulp?
No.
No, I did that for the. I remember for the Azure Media Services module and the TypeScript compilation.
Yeah, that's the one. I thought you had used Grunt on this one, but okay.
So it's 19x.
Yeah.
How is that changing for users? Or do the build script have to do it also?
No, because the resulting CSS are checked into version control. So it's only basically how those are built when you change the underlying less files.
Okay, and when you change them, automatically they recompile them?
Yeah, exactly. If you have this pipeline up and running.
If I don't have 2015, what do you say? Do we have to run something automatically?
Yeah, then if you have 2013 and you want to edit these files and like perform this compilation pipeline, then you install Node and you install the Task Runner Explorer add-on to Visual Studio 2013, and then it has the same functionality as in 2015. And it seems to be the direction that they're going. They're building more and more of that stuff into Visual Studio instead of having Web Essentials. They're kind of betting on Gulp or Grunt to do these kinds of tasks going forward.
Thinking how breaking things we are.
Yeah, Sipke and I thought long and hard about this change and whether it could break anybody, but since we're really only changing how the compilation is done, there are no functional, or content changes in these scripts or anything. We figured, it couldn't really break anybody.
So it's not breaking, but it's changing how we do things. At the same time, we never did define how to use less files. And if we had to use less files, so maybe just need some clarification about what the tooling for Orchard is needed.
Lipke, are you speaking or just playing the music?
I'm not speaking. I'm sharing.
Yep. You're not speaking. I muted you. Sharing the music. Yes.
I just wanted to add that since Studio 2015 will be using these tools instead of Web Essentials being responsible for compiling, it seems to make sense to use it.
Yeah, but there is no 2015 at all. There is a
Sorry,
release
what?
candidate. Boom. I said yes, it will be.
Oh yeah,
it's
it
not
might
the
change.
case.
Mm.
So you are using 2015, so nobody can use it today. Yeah, maybe you are using 2015 to develop. Secret next. Go in the bathroom. I don't know. I'm not sure it's more quiet, but yeah. So it's 19x. So if we release next week 19x, we can't tell people, oh, you should use 2015. So we should at least document how to what is needed into the 2013 version to be able to change this module, or what is the recommended way to build to use .less files in orchards, because it should be consistent. Okay, so it's just about documenting. Okay, to do.
Is this just for rendering the less files, turning them into CSS in the admin, or is this used for other parts of Orchard?
So right now it's just the admin. TypeScript might be using the same thing also, and this is just the admin right now. But
are these compiled on build or compiled on request?
What was the first option? Sorry, I didn't.
So so would this run on build, or would this run when the files are requested?
So apparently
On build.
2015 it's build.
Because we went through all of this last year. Oh my god.
No, sorry, Sipke, you can't talk anymore.
Yeah. We went
that's
through
not
all
him.
Of this. Oh,
Yes,
it's
that's
not
him. Yeah, that's him.
And we had, we tried to integrate into the build process. We're going to use Gulp, we're going to use this, we're going to use that. And we ended up, we have something that we built, which is very similar in some ways to the Recombinator that processes, we use less extensively now on all of our client-side sites. And we have something that processes less dynamically on request, and then basically persists the bundles in a giant folder in the media folder. It can do less, we updated it so that you can now have less files in the modules, and then have variables in the themes. I can demo it if you guys want to see it. It's the way that we found best to solve this issue, because we tried multiple different scenarios, and one of our requirements was that we wanted to be able to shove all this into Akamai, so we wanted to minimize the number of compiled CSS files. But now we can fully support the Bootstrap kind of less pattern out of the box, so that I can talk to the powers that be about maybe contributing some of this to the community. But it might be, if it's useful, I can show it to you guys
next week.
Yeah,
that sounds cool.
So right now it's using TypeScript. Media services. Yeah, services. Okay.
Really, maybe we should extend the scope of this discussion on documented the recommended way, because it's really about more than just compiling less in TypeScript. It's also about doing things like minification and bundling. So it's more like front-end build automation in a broader sense.
Does it touch the front-end part of it? Well, I mean front-end, the user front-end part of it, and not the admin.
No, when I say front-end, I mean more like JavaScript, CSS, less the types of client-side code, basically.
Yeah, I don't intend otherwise. I mean, yeah. What you need to add here? The TypeScript less magnification. handling. My concern here is on Visual Studio. It's not about how do we what we use it for, but how it impacts current usage. Okay. Jobs queue. So this is about using jobs queue instead of background task for index tasks. And what is weird? No.
And actually, I would like to later, if we have time, to discuss another issue with jobs queue, because it's full of issues now. Because the problem is that specifically here in jobs queue processor, that it will just process jobs until there are jobs in background. So if you have tens of thousands of jobs saved in the system, it will process all of them at once, despite the process method being run from a background task. So we should really do something about that. Actually, also sorry?
Well, we can talk about it on Thursday if we don't have time. But I don't see the issue here. I don't understand the issue. I don't say that there is no issue. I don't understand.
Right.
Oh, so this was a bug. Okay. And this is the different. Okay, this is for the index task, and this is a bug that you are mentioning.
This was actually another bug. What I mentioned is that really jobs queue will process all the jobs forever until they are jobs in one run in a single transaction. What can be an issue if you have more than a trivial amount of jobs?
Didn't we fix it? This issue seems so familiar. I'm like, we fixed it already.
I don't think so.
Or we reintroduced it. Something like this.
That's more realistic.
Implementing jobs queue, and you see, look at this guy, this dude. He knows it's a singleton, so he's using work, work, work. And this guy is not using work, so he knows what he's doing, okay? At that time, 1 year ago. Ivan bus, okay. And
well, Ivan bus is an I dependency, so I think it should be in work.
Yeah, but he knows that. It's weird. And look, he knows clock is an dependency. He knows that iTask service is an dependency. So he must know that. It's weird.
Maybe he just made a mistake, or this was an oversight by him.
No.
Well, it causes issues.
Jobs queue job requeuing itself. Oh, okay. It's a very specific kind of. I need to understand the repro here. Okay, and this is the fix you change. Or the re-implementation. Okay.
And actually, this is a repro for that previous bug. So if there wouldn't that work injection with the message, the event bus, then this would fail with.
Okay. Because in the process of a job, you are requeuing itself on. Okay, I see. Is there any more things to process? Yes. Okay. You are creating a job during a job. That's the issue.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, good. Like it. Then we'll see what's the issue. The other one. Okay, this is the. No, this is sticky positioning layout editor toolbox. It's always fun to do sticky positioning.
This is my demo, by the way.
Good. Let's do sticky repositioning then now. Removing blah blah blah. Okay, good. Demo. As a small one, sticky positioning. Please.
Okay. How do I? Do you need to stop sharing, or do I just start? Okay.
I will do whatever. And 52 messages on the message board. Crazy.
Share your screen. Okay. Okay. Let me know when you can see my screen.
I can, Benedek.
It's loading. Just a moment. I can see it now.
Okay. Excellent. Let me make my browser window a bit smaller here. Okay. So so one issue that we kind of had on our backlog to do with the layout editor was the fact that if you have a very long page and you have to scroll pretty far up and down to reach the toolbox to drag elements from it onto your page. So I just thought it's a very simple change. What I did was to make this a little easier. So I don't know if it's visible when I scroll because my bandwidth here is very, very low, but I'll give it a go. So when I scroll now, and when the editor reaches the top, the toolbox keeps it's fixed to the top of the window until you get all the way to the bottom, at which is it continues. So it just simple change, but I think it makes the usage of the editor a lot easier.
Drag and drop.
What about the opposite? And what about the case where the toolbox is taller than the screen?
Yeah, that works this way. So if I delete a bunch of elements here to make the layout shorter, like this, and I expand the toolbox, then yeah, I'm not doing the opposite, but at least I'm preventing it from doing the stickiness of the toolbox if this is the case that the editor is shorter than the toolbox itself.
That's cool.
So
yeah, that's it. That's the whole demo. Yeah, and it works.
How does it work when? Okay, so you have a long page and you pick something from the toolbox, and then you try to drag it somewhere that's not on the screen. Does the scrolling follow on that and behave the right way?
I'm actually not sure if I tested it, but let's do a quick test. So you mean in the case where, like, I drag an element now?
So you drag an element, and then you try to drag it to something that is below the fold.
Okay, I will try.
Works.
Seems to be working. Great.
Yeah.
I tried using the Bootstrap Affix plugin for this initially, but I wasted like 3 hours of my life trying to get that thing to work properly.
Yeah,
and eventually I just ended up coding my own, and it was very simple to do. So yeah, that's it.
Great. And this is in...
This is in 19X, yep.
Good. Great. Yes, to answer Gustavo, we are supposed to ship whenever we ship right now. Just reading the chat.
I have a small question. So I've built with C+ help this morning. I've built a field set element that I'm going to check in today. It It's a field set that's in the toolbox, and you drag it, and you can drag field elements in it. It's not very interesting to look at, really. It just does what it's supposed to. Yeah, I was wondering whether I should push that to dev or 1.9.
I don't mind 1.9. Maybe some other people mind 1.9. I don't mind. It's safe.
Okay.
It's safe. It's a new thing. It's not breaking.
I didn't quite get. What are you going to push?
A field set element.
Okay. That sounds like it's fine for 1.9. It's an addition, so it couldn't break anybody.
We didn't ask you, Daniel.
But I do value his opinion.
Yes, we all do. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, I'm also going to push a heading and a date element.
Heading. What is a heading?
H1.
Oh, the H1, H2? Okay.
Yeah.
And date? What is date? It's a new
HTML5
field?
Form field element.
Oh, form field. Okay.
You have checkboxes, and we have lots of fields in there.
This one is interesting.
We are missing date.
This one is interesting.
Does it have the HTML5 date value thing?
Yeah, exactly. So I was talking to CQ about this, and what I was thinking was that now modern browsers all have support for the new input type equals date or time, and we don't need to include a JavaScript picker anymore,
I agree.
I think.
And still people can override their theme to rewrite it. And that's the thing. Okay.
So it's going to be fairly simple. It's going to be very simple, and it's going to map directly to the
so wouldn't
fields.
it be better to just have it an ordinary input field with just a type attribute?
Oh, you mean
could customize?
Would it be better to repeat the stupid mistake that we made for fields? No,
yeah, but
but I really think that the fact that there are different types that you can use on input, that's an implementation detail of HTML, and we shouldn't expose our non-technical users to that. So I would much prefer to have a URL field, a date field, or whatever, than an input field that you configure to take dates. I think that's nuts.
No, I agree with that. Are you going to provide min and max
on the date? Makes sense.
I'm sorry, what?
Are you going to provide the minimum and maximum values on the date?
I'm going to provide everything that the standard HTML5 field is providing. So there is min and max, yes.
Okay, very cool. So that would be exposed when you also have like a form editor view, right?
When you have a for what?
With the layout editor, you also you can turn it into like a custom form.
Pop-up editor. A pop-up editor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool. Nice.
Daniel, what do you think?
You did actually ask my opinion. You asked maybe someone else has an opinion, so I voiced mine. Forgive me.
You know me.
I forgive you. I don't know outside.
And I know you know me. That's fine. If you're a newbie on the discussion, I will explain, but I don't have to explain. So
anyway, I will add all that to 1.9, and I may show it next week.
Yeah. So Gustavo, this explains why we never ship, because there is always something new to push and to take into account. So that, any topics we want to talk about? Zoltan has one. Any more important one? Oh yeah, sorry, I wanted to talk about the conference just because we need to. So last week I mentioned Sergio had done all the necessary analysis of the cost and different locations to go to. He wants some dates now, so we can actually book stuff. Budget-wise, it will be very fine. I'm not sharing. One second. Wrong window. Sharing. Conference, and then did it click? No, good. So late September. So far is worked on a Monday and Tuesday. I think is that fine for everyone? Any opinion? Objection? Last year was
Are you asking me?
Monday. Also, you can say anything if you want, but you never came to any conference, to any Orchard conference. So I'm not sure we care. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was last year, and I think that was fine. We did a Thursday, Friday in Santa Monica. It was fine. So we'll keep the same logic, which is close to a weekend, because it lets people come earlier during the weekend, or stay during the weekend to visit. 28, 29 is also good in terms of budget because it's cheaper. Antoine raised the fact that there was a conference for web somewhere in Italy, if someone knows where Italy is, 25 and 26. So I think the dates are fine, unless there is a big conference coming in and at the same time, but nobody can compete with us. It will be 2 days and not 3. Last year was 3 days, but I think it was too long. There wasn't as much content as we needed. Well, we had lots of sessions also about ASP.NET, but 2 days I think is fine. You agree? So I will go with 28, 29.
Is Ilan taking part?
Sorry?
Is Ilan taking part?
No. So I think Ilan just gave up gave up. He has other priorities than Orchard, so we are doing it without him. But I'm sure we can get support if we have questions. 28, 29. Do you want to be the new Ilan, Zoltan?
It depends what Ilan has done.
Well, what you did last year, actually. Last year, in Amsterdam, you did the t-shirts. I still have it. The orange one. Yeah, he was organizing the conference. Different partners and providers. It was harder because it was from, well, no, it was in the US, but I was in Redmond and yeah, he was in Austin. Here we have Sergio to help from Spain, from locally. Yeah.
Well,
September.
actually, having an organizer really would be necessary, I think. So what you just mentioned, so taking all the parties, I mean the parties who take part on the same page, organizing sponsors, really t-shirts and everything.
Yep. There are some things that we could delegate to anyone who wants to help. So open question, who wants to help on the organization and who can do something. Yeah, like looking for some sponsors, helping with the swags, t-shirts, checking that we have everything. It's kind of now we have a reliable set of things to do. We have done it 3 times already every year, and we know what we need for the conference. I think everything went well the last 3 years. Did you miss anything? Is there something you want to change? You want to add or remove? Everyone thinks it's perfect, so we'll have the same things and the same kind of organization, meaning T-shirts. We have keynotes and panels. We'll have dinners also. At least one dinner with everyone at some place that we have already been looking for. We care about that. So for instance, right now, the preferred hotel, because it will be in a hotel, was conference room. This will let people, like in Santa Monica, stay in the hotel where the conference is. This was pretty useful for some people, but you are still open to take any accommodation you want. If you want some cheaper thing, then what did I want to mention? Yeah, it's very simple to go to the hotel from the airport. There is a shuttle directly which stops you in front of the hotel from the airport. And the beach is in front of the hotel, right in front of the hotel. And the city center, you have to cross the main street to go in the city center, so it's very accessible. That's the plan so far.
Viet Zombie could undertake some of the organization work. So some of these central organization, like bringing the sponsors together and everybody. So we haven't done anything like that. But if there are practices already, and you just have to do them, then we can do it. And provide the T-shirts, by the way.
Yes, you have done that by the past. So by the past, what we have for sponsor is not for money directly. It's for taking care of some of the organization parts, like the dinner with everyone, or part of it, the T-shirts. What else? What else have we asked the sponsor to do? Usually it was dinners and T-shirts, some also signage we need to do, banners. If you want to do stickers this year for Orchard, maybe something it will be interesting. We don't have Orchard stickers, and that's very easy to do. That kind of thing, and that's not that much to do actually. To pay the bills this year, we'll use the Net Foundation. I checked with them. They will organize the event. What is the name? Event. Bright, yes. The Event Bright site. This I was doing it, and the issue with Microsoft was to be able to invoice companies or people. So we'll ask the Net Foundation to do that, and to pay for it, they will pay with the money they get from Eventbrite and other sponsors like Microsoft. For instance, for my Microsoft sponsorship, I pay for it usually. So I use the Microsoft credit card to pay for it. So it's pretty simple. Every cost goes by me and the Net Foundation, and I pay the providers by phone or by fax or over internet. So whatever you need to do, that's how it works. So for instance, the hotel, the conference room, the audio video accessories we need, everything like this. Yeah, that's not that hard actually to organize. But yes, sure, we can define everything which has to be done and split the work. So Zoltan, if you want to take care of about either looking for some other sponsor or organize who is taking care of what, and among that, the dinners and the T-shirts, that would be good.
Could we jump on a call, Sebastian, later today or later this week?
Not right now, but yeah, ping me. 9:30 PST on Skype. I'm here. Thank you. Any question? Okay, good. So we'll talk about the PRs and the bugs on Thursday. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, everyone.